Hey everyone, so I'm back home in Seattle. I just attended a computer gaming conference in Taiwan where I won first place in Othello. Othello was the first major computer game I ever wrote. I started writing it a little over 5 years ago now. But the trip made me realize that I perhaps lowballed myself of doing some things. In terms of uh, well, I've done some odd jobs, private tutoring, and also sometimes when I drive long distance I do some ride sharing. But two particular events during the trip taught me the true value of time. Time is a luxury good that we sometimes don't realize of how the true value of it. On the way into Taiwan, I got into a little bit of trouble because I had a very short layover in Tokyo, and one of my favorite things to do in Tokyo is to stop at one of the sushi places in the Tokyo airport. And I hurt myself trying to run out of the plane because I had a seat that was in the middle of the plane. I was trying to squeeze in between everybody, and I ended up missing the flight. But I got it changed without a fee, and I got to eat the sushi. I got to stay at I took a bus into downtown Tokyo and stayed at one of the internet cafes. So this is kind of a unconventional hotel, if you will. But I got to meet people there, and I love Japan, so it turned out okay. But it made me realize that had I just had an extra 30 minutes or an hour for that layover, I got a little bit cheap in terms of choosing the flight. It would have been better. Okay, and then on my way back, I had an early morning flight out of Taipei, but since I was done with the conferences, I was done seeing my family, I decided to go to the airport the night before and just camp out there. It would help me adjust to the jet lag too. If I stayed up all night, I'll be ready when I get back to the U.S. That's what I was thinking at least. So I take the bus to the airport in Taiwan. It's quite a distance. It's called Taoyuan, and it's about a 30 or 40 mile distance from the city of Taipei. And there's a transfer of buses, and I got lost. But this time I had the whole night to find the place. And I wasn't frustrated at all. In fact, I looked at getting lost as a chance to go talk to people and get to meet my potential future wife and to brag about how I won first place at Othello. And I actually enjoyed getting lost that time. It made me realize that I didn't have that luxury of in times past. Well, aside from the incident in Tokyo, when I was working at Microsoft, I also went to a computer gaming conference, but that time I had no extra time. The conference was, I think, 7 days, and I literally only took those 7 days off because I didn't have extra vacation time, and the entire trip was miserable. Was rushed. I didn't get to do things I wanted to do. I made mistakes because of the rush. I probably affected the contest, and when I got back to work and I was rushed, it affected the quality of my work. It really didn't benefit anybody, and it made me realize that perhaps I've lowballed myself in times past. Sometimes I think to myself, well, I have nothing better to do. Even if the guy I'm tutoring is only offering X dollars, I got nothing better to do anyway. The truth is, sometimes doing nothing is one of the more valuable things you can do, and I probably dismissed that option a little bit too quickly. So earlier this year, I had a client who was, I don't know if she was taking advantage of me or there was a misunderstanding. I was tutoring an Asian kid. He was 14 years old, and I kind of charged on the low end of things, but I enjoyed working with him so much. It didn't really bother me too much. I also felt that I didn't want to disappoint him. We had already started the semester, and it would get my foot in the door. You see, at the time I hadn't tutored for a number of years, and his mother had asked me one day if I had time to tutor his cousin as well. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I want to charge more. You see, I hadn't tutored for so many years, and I kind of forgot all the other things that go with tutoring. You see, I was tutoring in computer science, and I love talking about computer science anyway. I kind of forgot that in order to tutor at a certain hour, it kind of, even if I'm only worth, let's say I'm worth $10 an hour, if you take an hour out of the day, the rest of the day, it's hard to do something that's worth $10 an hour anymore. And logistics of it is what I'm trying to say. And not to mention the commuting and the cost of gas and the other car expenses. Anyways, so I wasn't happy about taking other students at that cost, is what I was trying to explain. So I tried to push it aside. I'm busy. I got computer gaming conferences to prepare for. I'll look at my games. I'm not going to win number one if I keep doing it. So I tried to push it aside. And then the kids, they had spring break. I think his cousin was a little older. I think maybe 15 or 16. And one day, the mother decides to bring both of the kids to the place I was doing the tutoring, and I felt taken advantage of because she put the emotions in front of the decision. I had to straight up tell the kids, I can't do two of you, or I have to raise the price. I think she forced the emotion into it, and it became so awkward. I ended up quitting the tutoring job, and I learned a valuable lesson there. It made me realize that there's nothing wrong with doing nothing sometimes, and having extra time to pad your events is a luxury that sometimes it's become very difficult to afford in our society, it seems like. Thanks for watching.